the opportunity to speak to this panel. I come to you as a member of the public who, through a situation in my personal life, led me to do some research. So here are some of the highlights that I found. From the Environmental Working Group Executive Summary, August 27, 2013. It states that recent studies link cell phone radiation to brain cancer. The research groups independently analyzed all data from 25 original studies of cell phone users and identified a 50 to 90% increase in risk for two types of brain tumors, glioma and acoustic neuroma. That comes from Hardell and Kundi, 2009. I also found in the Bioinitiative 2012 summary that some very large studies were completed on brain tumor risk from cell phone use. The 13-country World Health Organization Interphone Final Study of 2010 produced evidence that cell phone use at 10 years or longer, with approximately 1,640 hours of cumulative use of a cell phone and/or cordless phone, approximately doubles glioma risk in adults. Gliomas are aggressive, malignant tumors where the average lifespan following diagnosis is about 400 days. Excuse me. From Dr. Deborah Davies, PhD, in her Healthy Living article, quote, "We've had escalating brain cancer rates population that science shows are not only associated with cell phone usage, but also how and why this is happening. Evidence clearly shows that people who hold their phones too long and too close to their bodies tend to have a higher rate of this cancer. Typically, from a scientific point of view, a correlation or conclusion happens after about 20 years of study. However, this technology has not been around in its present deployment or use for the past 20 years. As such, science cannot give us a conclusion on the effect of radiation. However, having said that, we do know that radio frequencies can be absorbed or reflected. We also know that interaction, the matter that can change the state, and as a result of that state, it will change its actual composition. If you expose DNA to a certain frequency level, you can even cause it to become broken. Definitely, long-term, low-level radiation exposure studies are required. Safety Code 6 is supposed to protect Canadians, but is failing to do so. If research is drawing conflicting conclusions, then why not err on the side of caution? If we are not sure of the harm or risk, then why gamble with the health and lives of individuals? Let's implement the precautionary principle. My husband has always been an early adopter of new technology. Excuse me. My husband always held his cell phone on the right side of his head. My husband has used a cell phone for the past 15 years, and my husband was diagnosed with a stage 3 malignant oligodendroglioma tumor in July of 2009 in the right frontal lobe. I also know that a patient receiving a course of treatment for brain tumor costs $48,763.56. This is not covered by OHIP because traditional chemotherapy does not cross the blood-brain barrier and is therefore ineffective. New modern drugs are required for gliomas. They are paid out of pocket. Also, one of my facts, 11 cell phone antennas were erected on the adjacent home in July 2013. 3 are directly facing our home at a distance of 40 meters. At great personal expense, we are moving to protect our family from further harm. The government's current focus on what is best for the Canadian consumer needs to change to what is best for Canadians. That the short-term financial gains through spectrum auctioning and licensing do not offset the long-term financial healthcare costs we are cautioning about. Safety Code 6 should be amended to protect all Canadians, especially those most vulnerable. Thank you.
Any comments? Thank you very much.